Hi there, welcome to the latest edition of my 10-minute moan. And the topic for this one is the horrendous situation that teachers face currently, with new figures showing that in the last 5 years, school teachers have taken 1 million days off due to stress. Now, where did these figures come from? The Lib Dems apparently have put in an FOI asking for this data. And what it shows is that it's rising, because since 2018 through 2023, it has risen approximately 50%, and the current figure is 270,000 days in 1 year. Now, if that's 270,000 in year 5, and the average is 200,000, then that evidently shows you the trajectory. And 5 years ago, the figure was about 170,000 days off. Now, just to put that into give you some sort of perspective on that, there's about 50,000 school teachers in Scotland at the moment. So that would be just over 1 million divided by the 50,000 would be about 20 days on average per teacher over 5 years, which is almost 1 week per year for every single teacher out there. That's horrendous. And I think it's fair to suggest that the vast majority of teachers would have taken 0 days off during a 5-year period for stress, or maybe 1 or 2, maybe bereavements and that sort of stuff, if they're classed, in that number. So that tells you that there must be a massive amount of teachers taking a lot longer than a week off per year due to stress. Now, what the government have said in their defence is that since October 2020, they have spent about £2 million supporting teachers over 3.5 years, £2 million. And this year, they're going to put 200,000 into it. So this is a problem that's getting bigger. And the Scottish Government's answer to that is to put less money into it, because 2 million over 3.5 years is a lot more than they're putting in this year of 200,000. So this is proper head in the sand stuff. This is ridiculous. Now, when you consider the attainment gap, the terrible record that the SNP government have got in education. Remember Nicola's famous speech, "Judge me on education." We did. You're shite at it. Now, this could be a fundamental issue with the performance of children at school, because if you look at the recent exams, the only time there was an increase in exam results was the year that no kids took exams and they were given estimates. And I saw it for what it was worth right away. There was a lot of talk about people saying it wasn't fair that they averaged out the scores because some people get smaller results than they expected. But the figures said differently, that the actual results that year of COVID, when there was no exam results, were higher than the previous years. But taking that one out, when people didn't actually do exams, when people are given, and the Scottish kids are given exams under exam conditions, we are continually getting worse. And now we find out that there's a massive problem with the teachers and their mental health, and in terms of the amount of time they're having to take away from work due to stress. And the government's answer is to put less funding into that. Now, you could turn around and start all your nonsense about, Westminster did this, and the budget was this, and the budget was whatever. And I'm not listening, because £200,000 is about equivalent to 2 MPs. Claims for sundry things to go down to Westminster and represent people. It's not a lot of money in the grand scheme of things. When you've got a £1.5 billion gap in your black hole in your finances, 200,000 It's only a third of the amount of money the SNP have got missing from their bloody party funds. It's not a lot of money, and it's a lot of money to me as a person, but in the grand scheme of things, it is a pittance. So is it any wonder that when the government put so little effort into rectifying this massive issue, that we can now suddenly see it's lip service, and we can probably see why the attainment gap and results are dropping and all that, you know, these negatives, the problems that the SNP government have with education. Because it's one of the most important aspects of the future of this country. And yet again, the evidence suggests that you're paying it lip service. And I'm quite sure that if more newspapers, because I've only seen it in one so far, if more newspapers were to follow it up, or indeed anyone was to bring it up in Parliament, maybe in First Minister's questions or the like, we would just hear more of the absolute dross responses from this inept government telling us about Westminster. It would be yet another example of unable to answer a question without using either the words Westminster or Tory, because we're fed up with it. It is just excuses. These are just inept at managing the country, which is your job. And I've got a lot of empathy. I've had mental health problems in the past myself, and it would suggest to me that you would be hard pushed to find any other branch of the civil service or government or local government that would have a worse ratio of their staff having lost. It's nearly 3,000 years when you add it up. But when you're hard pushed to find another arm of industry with such a horrific amount of days lost due to mental health. So it's an important thing, and you've got to do more than tell us, we're putting £200,000 into this year. And what? What are you actually doing about this? You've put less money in this year than you have averaged over the last 5 years for a problem that's went up nearly 60% in 5 years. It is the trajectory of days off due to stress is on the up. Your investment in these people's well-being is on the decline. It just beggars belief. You are incompetent. These things shouldn't become problems. You should have people in place that can see these issues and sort them out before they their eyes. And £200,000 for 50,000 teachers is £4 each. You're investing £4 this year per teacher in their mental health and trying to solve a problem that's a horrendous knock-on effect to the children currently of school age. And if you sort out education today, you're projecting the future for maybe in 10 years' time. So it's not a quick fix. You don't get the results tomorrow. And that's all you guys are interested in. You're not interested in fixing Scotland. I'm interested in investing in the future of Scotland. You'll put plenty of buzzwords into it, but the proof in the pudding, yet again, with this and other examples, is that's all it is. It's lip service and buzzwords. You're terrible at it. I could probably rant for another 20 minutes on this, but I think I've made the points quite clear. You are having a job. 1 million days off in 5 years for school teachers, and your response is we'll put £200,000 extra into the help these teachers. £4. What are you expecting to get by investing £4 per teacher? What does that get them? A book? If you printed a booklet, it would cost you probably more than that by the time you got it designed, you got it physically printed, and you got it posted out, and the 94,000 civil servants that you'd need to put into the project as well, because that's in real terms what you're doing. £4 per teacher to solve the problem of 1 million days off due to stress. Dear God, what have we become? If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you want to see more, there'll be some recommendations in the corner, and also hit the subscribe notifications. However, most important thing of all, have a great day. Bye now.